Alright, dude, here's your freaking video. Alright, so what we have here is like it's a freaking Megacade, Ultracade mashup, unlike any other. It's the only one of its kind. It's got a cocktail table with head-to-head control panels, and it's got a side-mounted control panel, ability to play four people at the same time. It's got a little volume control knob down here. I'll lower that for a second. And here's the cool part. Here's what we're always telling people, man. We could that we can actually do a head-to-head gameplay. You could do a side mount control panel here, so you can actually play. Give you an idea here. You can play four people at the very same time. And what you have here, you can't really see it because of the lighting. It's a freaking gun. So you actually have a recoil, so you can actually play on the back screen. So that's really cool. And if you have any questions about that, let us know. Anyway, this game, you can actually sit on this end here, play on this control panel while viewing that screen, and all the while, again, you could have two players there. All the while, you could, in the meantime, here, I'm sorry, that you could actually play two people head to head. So you just start a game up here and play Miss Pac-Man. And you can literally play a head-to-head game there, so that's pretty awesome. You can control the volume with the TV, so it's plugged in directly to the TV and or the system, so you could control the volume both ways. What's really cool about that is that the back monitor is actually all HDMI, it's all 1080p. It's got a computer system running inside, and it's got a trackball to be able to play every game, even including PC games, and there's just a ton of stuff you could play in there. And again, it's one of a kind. It's still in the making here. We're doing all kinds of good stuff. We have to close up the back door and put one last piece of trim on here. I'm sure somebody's going to notice that. And we have this TV arm. We've actually designed this arm so where you can run all of your wiring right through there. And show a little bit of that here. So this is completely solid, and we have the screws that we can just pop right in. We currently have the four outer screws popped in right now. These will also have a nut and bolt on the inside. We left them there for aesthetic purposes. Now this guy here, here's our cable here that controls our gun sensor. So we can either have it on top of the machine or on the bottom. On top of the monitor or on the bottom of the monitor. So that's really cool. And there's really no limit to the size of monitor we can actually go with. We can actually go with a 32-inch monitor. Or we can go, this is a 32-inch monitor down below, and we go with a 40-inch monitor, 50-inch, whatever size you want to go in the back. In fact, we already have all the sizes that we need for this style plate. So if you need to, we can always upgrade it, extend this guy out, and just bring it out a little bit further, being that it's sitting right over the edge. Bring it out a little further, and you can go with a larger TV. You can go up to 60, 70 inches, whatever you like. So that's pretty cool. It has no limit to the size of screen you can put in the backside. And although some people want to have the background, if you don't want to have that, you could just plug it into your wall-mounted screen at home. So that's cool. As long as it has HDMI, you are golden. And so here's the other side of that cocktail table. You can see the back that speaker hole on the other side there. It's lit up. So we have LED lights underneath this thing. And it's just nuts. We were gonna put some under LED lights, but we figured with the buttons being as bright as they were, we'll just leave it alone, and the shine off the back of the grill would be enough. So we thought that would work out pretty good. So this guy has the Ford logo top. It has a custom top. Actually, we added a Tron there by request, a custom request. And well, there it is. You know, it has a lot of cool features. We do have we added an extra little button here. You have your first and second player start buttons. And remove this little gun here. And you have your exit button, your escape button, your enter button, and over here we have a small coin button. So we could add credits there. You can see I'll be pressing the button here, and it adds credits as I push this little tiny red button. So that's the way we get credits into the machine. And as for this guy, the other side, we can all we got to do is press the first or second player button, and that'll allow us to jump into a 1 or 2 player game. And anyway, going back to this guy, I'm going to jump out of this back screen. Oh, and the other thing, I'm sorry. What's nice is that this monitor here goes silent when no one's playing it. Let's say it's just one guy playing or 2 people playing. You could either play the cocktail table or the one in back. You also have the ability to turn this screen off if you're not using it, and that way it's not bothering you or than that. The other thing is that it does go silent when it's not in use. When no one's playing, it just stays in silent mode until you're ready to use it. So it's nice to have it there. It just looks a little cooler, and so that's neat. So this guy, we'll go in the back here. And this system does have the 30,001 game board, as requested by the customer. Actually brought in a lot of his own equipment, so that was really cool. And what we ended up doing is hooking him up with all kinds of stuff here. I mean, it already had just a ton of stuff. I'm going to back up here and just go through all the games it has as Windows games. Oh, here you go, the Windows games. Let's jump into that. Give you guys a little background on this guy. So this guy, I'm going to jump into Angry Birds. And all you do is press the start button. And again, I can't believe how amazing this machine came out. It's really just, the LED just set it off. It's one of those things. All right, so we got Angry Birds. So what we do here, same idea as if you were playing on an iPad or a computer at home. What we end up doing is we use the trackball. So you can see the little hand up there. You can move the trackball around. So what you do is you put it over the play, and your right-click button is literally right here. So you're gonna click. You just head on over to this guy. Oh, sorry. Cabinet keeps moving. Click that. And jump on this guy. Click there. And again, the sound of this thing is just incredible. I mean, it'll shake the room. It's just nuts. It's got a 8-inch subwoofer inside, so that's cool. Coming up. And I was never really any good at this game, but we're gonna make this happen right now. Yeah, check that out. So what I did is I used this first button here, the first blue. There's the three blue in the middle. These are our controller buttons. So we use this guy as our right click. I'm sorry, left click, and use a trackball. And that's about it. I mean, you could play every game on here using these controls. And when you're not using this guy, there's another trick to this thing. So we can actually use a real. Let's see. I'm trying to look for it here now. Sorry. We can actually use a Xbox 360 remote. So when you jump into certain games, like certain computer games, or I'm going to jump out here real quick, just so you can see how fast this thing actually jumps out. It's pretty neat. You can actually go into, go into the menu. So what we're going to do is jump out of here. What you do is you press the menu buttons here. Oh. What we're trying to do is get ourselves just trying to select and get out again and get out one more time. And I see if you want to quit. You say yes. And okay, so that's some of the PC games. Some of the PC games it has is pretty cool. There's Crazy Taxi 3, Double Dragon. It's got quite a bit of PC games here. It's got grids. It got a nice racing game. Good game. I mean, it's just got a bunch of stuff. It has all the Street Fighters and newer Street Fighter 5. Oh, 4, sorry. Has the X-Men Legends. We went back around. It's about 40 games or so. All right, so I'm going to jump out of this guy real quick. Again, this is our exit button right here. Jump out of there and just kind of go around, man. So there's a bunch of games on here that do not usually work on other systems, like Dragon's Lair. Here's one. I jump in there real quick, and it has all the Laserdisc games. That's one of the harder machines to acquire, that Dragon's Lair. And we're constantly being asked about it, and we actually have a working, fully functional Dragon's Lair here. So I'm going to jump into this guy. And you guys can check this out. It's still funny, you can actually play this thing here. Oh, what's cool is that if you're playing in the background and you don't want to be bothered by this noise, the noise off this machine with the volume, is that you could actually hook up to there's two headphone jacks, or a headphone jack right on the actual on the volume. There you go. So it has the they got to lower it there. It has two audio jacks there, so that's pretty cool. So I'm going to start a game up here. Show you the amount of credits on there. All right, press start. Got trapped on the first move. There you go. Sorry, Todd. Todd Lilo know what we're talking about. So anyway, there's the game, man. It's fully functional. It plays well. Just a matter of us knowing how to play it and being really good at it. It's hard to play with one hand as well. Anyway, so there's just a ton of games. There's pinball machine games, and there's just a ton of stuff on here. And again, there's every console's in here. And it's funny because every time you click on one of these guys, it actually shows the console, and it has every game for every console on here. So that's really awesome. Even the Super Nintendo, I mean, it has everything. Every console ever made, from Atari 2600 all the way up to PlayStation 2. So that's pretty awesome. This guy did a good job. So I mean, this is just in the end. So and there's a faster way of going through your list. You hold it to the right. Once you get there, you just figure out which letter you want to go to. And let's say you wanted to go to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You go there, you press the star button, and it jumps you there. Jumps you straight to the T's. Then you find that, and you just, my gosh, there's a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of cool. It shows you a little cartridge and a game screenshot, video screenshot, so that's pretty awesome. That is just really cool. And the menu is just flawless. If we feel that it's just super smooth, and it doesn't have any hang-ups like most other game boards we see. It's just a beautiful, beautiful menu. We love the idea that it's so clean. So you're going to jump out of there and just kind of go through all the game boards. So we're at Nintendo, so I'm just going to go around. If you guys want to pause or something, you can. Kind of running down. I think I have like 14 minutes here. Now this arcade, the Nintendo arcade systems, that's the actual arcade games. That's like Super Punch Out. All those games are going to be on there, so that's pretty cool. So we have just a ton of stuff on here. All these games on here. That's the beginning of the list, but we're at Nintendo. So every one of these lists has a ton of games in them. Some could have a few thousand games. I know MAME has about 8,000 games in it. You have the Game Boy Color. It has even the Super Game Boy Color. So if there's games in there that you remember playing, I remember playing Super Motocross Maniacs on Game Boy. That was one of my faves. Cool game. So there's just a ton of stuff on here. I think we went all the way around already here. So there's quite a few consoles, and it has every game for every console, with the exception of like the, what is it now? The PlayStation 1, the PS Vita. It has all those on there as well. PSP, PlayStation 2. So it has those games, but it doesn't have every game for that system. I believe we'll jump into PlayStation 2 really quick. I think I have a few seconds here. So anyway, overall look, it looks awesome. The LED lights, just set it off. I think it's a great idea. We have in-house LED lights. We actually build them ourselves, so they're really, really bright and nice. If you guys have any questions about this guy, feel free to just give us a call at 402-641-4482. My name's Dan. And or check us out on arcadefuncade.com. See you later. Thanks for watching.